Stanford University.
Alrighty.
Wow. We'll try not to. Okay, love you. Bye. We're coming.
Left. They were on the Jumbotron.
From us, we were gonna walk in giant balls over the crowds. And
Giant
Secret
balls,
Service took 'em.
hamsters
They
crashed
castrated us.
and
They
it's gone.
castrated us.
It's gone because of
Walk together.
We run there.
Hi, Mom.
How's it going, the Smiths?
That's nervous.
Those two seats.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Last game was I think in the title guys just do I want to keep one of them jumping on.
Yep.
I don't know what the reaction. David. Legit.
Dad, you wanted me to...
Una vez que terminan su prepa, pueden luego empezar la búsqueda de beca para entrar.
One dream. Go Stanford.
Woo! Class of 09.
These two chairs, we have to be in here.
O God, eternal Spirit of all life, we gather in thy presence at a cusp of time in this 120th commencement of Stanford University, when flooding memory from the past and abounding hope for the future converge. We give thanks, O God, for the relationships which have sustained us in reaching this day, for our families and those we love, our friends and colleagues, our teachers, and those we've taught. Yet seldom do we see as clearly as today that all relationships keep changing. May we understand that vitality of relationship need not be stated only in terms of duration and continuity. It lies as much in appreciating each moment with others fully and respectfully as it unfolds. As we look to the future, may we commit ourselves to living our lives as vocation rather than as mere occupation. For in a poet's words, by only getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Instead, may we make our lives, even in details, worthy of the contemplation of our most elevated and critical hours. Finally, we give thanks for past opportunities we've had here at Stanford to think, speak, and act so as to make this world a better place for all to live. In the future, may a generous love for humanity and for life itself prevent us from ever resting until respect for this planet becomes ingrained in all, and until true dignity, justice, and peace are established throughout the earth. Amen.
Please be seated. Graduating students, faculty colleagues, former and current trustees, government officials, distinguished guests, family members, and friends, I warmly welcome all of you to the 120th commencement exercises of Stanford University. And in case you worried about the weather this spring, we were saving it for your day today. A special welcome to the class of 11. And to our degree candidates from Stanford's various graduate programs. Today, we shall award 1,720 bachelor's degrees, 2,167 master's degrees, and 1,054 doctoral degrees. The undergraduate class of 2011 includes 365 seniors graduating with departmental honors, 273 graduating with university distinction. 101 students have completed the requirements of more than one major, and 33 are graduating with dual bachelor's degrees. Congratulations. From its opening days, Stanford has attracted students from around the world. This year, 111 members of the undergraduate class of 2011 are from 42 countries outside the United States. And 82 countries, in addition to the United States, are represented by 979 awardees of master's and PhD degrees. Now, you may notice that I started out this morning with a lot of statistics. But before you jump to the conclusion that I do so because I am a computer scientist, let me say that reciting these statistics is an historical tradition at our commencement ceremonies, and one that I am proud to carry on. Of course, every tradition was at one time or another new, and hence not really a tradition. Some started as political or cultural responses to the stuffy traditions of the day. But after a while, they also sometimes became ingrained and even a bit antiquated. However, the fine tradition of the wacky walk will never become antiquated with the imagination and creativity of Stanford students. This balancing of old and new the innovative and the traditional is a challenge that universities have faced for hundreds of years. The need to renew and reinvent the university while building a firm and lasting foundation has been a theme of the speeches of many of my predecessors. Our first president, David Starr Jordan, in his inaugural address in 1891, reflected on this balance when he said, "It is for us, as teachers and students in the university's first year, to lay the foundations of a school which may last as long as human civilization. It is hallowed by no traditions, it is hampered by none. Its fingerposts all point forward." Today, 120 years later, we have established some traditions, but we have not forgotten President Jordan's words. We remain mindful of the need to reinvent and move forward. So as you leave Stanford, I hope you carry a deep appreciation of the values and traditions that are everlasting, as well as a willingness to be bold and to approach challenges with a fresh perspective. It is with the recognition that traditions remain vibrant when they are enthusiastically endorsed by succeeding generations that I now invoke a very special Stanford commencement tradition. Graduating students, in the stands behind you are many of those who have made your Stanford years possible. Parents and grandparents, spouses and children, siblings, aunts, uncles, mentors, and friends. Whoever played a role in helping you get to Stanford or in supporting and encouraging you once you were here. I invite you to please rise, turn to the stands, and join me in saying thank you. And now I will turn the program over to Provost John Etchemendy, who will present the winners of the University Awards.
It is my pleasure and privilege to present the Walter J. Gores Awards for Excellence in Teaching. Recommendations for these prizes and for the Lloyd W. Dinkelspiel Awards and the Kenneth M. Cuthbertson Award were considered by a committee of faculty, students, and staff. I would like to ask the Gores Award winners to come to the stage at this time. The Gores Awards were established by a bequest from Walter J. Gores, a Stanford alumnus of the class of 1917. Gores was a dedicated teacher who strove for excellence during his 30 years as a distinguished professor at the University of Michigan. The Gores Awards recognize excellent teaching at the undergraduate and graduate level, as defined in its broadest sense, to include lecturing, discussions, tutoring, advising, and course development. Teaching is a complex art, as well as an essential cornerstone of university life. I will call each recipient forward to receive his or her award, and I ask that you hold your applause until I have announced all of this year's award winners. The recipients of the 2011 Walter J. Gores Awards for Excellence in Teaching are Robert Siegel, Associate Professor, Teaching in the Department of Microbiology and Immunology, Program in Human Biology, and Center for African Studies. Pavel Levy, Assistant Professor of Film and Media Studies in the Department of Art and Art History. Rajat Bhatnagar, PhD candidate in Electrical Engineering. Daniel Tsubasa Bloxam, JD candidate in the School of Law, could not be with us today, but he is also a recipient of the 2011 Walter J. Gores Award for Excellence in Teaching. On behalf of the university, I congratulate each of you for this recognition of your excellence in teaching. I would like to ask the Dinkelspiel Award winners to come to the stage at this time. Lloyd Dinkelspiel's service to Stanford included the presidency of the Board of Trustees in the 1950s and was characterized by an enduring concern for the quality of undergraduate education at this university. Shortly after he died in 1959, a memorial fund was established to endow the Lloyd W. Dinkelspiel Awards for distinctive contributions to undergraduate education. I will call each recipient forward to receive his or her award, and I ask that you hold your applause until I have announced all of this year's award winners. The recipients of the 2011 Lloyd W. Dinkelspiel Awards for distinctive contributions to undergraduate education are Jan Marie Barker Alexander, Associate Dean of Students, Director of the Black Community Services Center, and Resident Fellow of UJMA. Suzanne Abel, Associate Director for External Relations for the Haas Center for Public Service. Aisha Bagshi, Senior in History and Philosophy with Honors in Ethics and Society. Charles Augustine Sims IV, undergraduate student in East Asian Studies and Feminist Studies, coterminal MA student in Sociology. On behalf of the university, I congratulate each of you for this significant recognition of your contributions to undergraduate education. The Gores and Dinkelspiel Awards are joined by a third, the Kenneth M. Cuthbertson Award for exceptional service to Stanford University. I would like to ask the Cuthbertson Award winner to come to the stage at this time. The award was established in 1981 to honor the late Kenneth Cuthbertson, one of the early architects of Stanford's long-range financial planning and development programs. The sole criterion of the Cuthbertson Award is the quality of the contribution the recipient has made to Stanford. This is a fitting, lasting legacy to the man who cared deeply about the university and its values, and whose contributions continue to benefit each and every one of us today. The recipient of the 2011 Kenneth M. Cuthbertson Award for exceptional contributions to Stanford University is Valerie Kiska, Student Services Manager in the Department of Biology. On behalf of the university, I congratulate you for this distinguished recognition of your exceptional service to Stanford.
At this time, I would like to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Felipe Calderón, President of Mexico. President Calderón is our 7th international speaker and only the 2nd sitting president of any country to speak at a Stanford commencement. President Calderón grew up in Michoacán, Mexico. His family was politically active. His father was instrumental in the founding of the National Action Party, often referred to as PAN. From an early age, President Calderón demonstrated both his political ambitions and a willingness to work towards his goals. When he was 12, a teacher asked everyone in class to share their career goals. As one classmate explained to the New York Times, "We all said normal jobs, but Felipe surprised us all. He said it like he knew it was going to happen. He said, Presidente de la República." And he pursued his education with that in mind, traveling to Mexico City, where he earned his bachelor's degree in law and his master's in economics. He pursued a second master's degree in public administration at Harvard. His career in public service began in 1988, when at the age of 26, he was elected to the Legislative Assembly and later to the Federal Chamber of Deputies, the lower house of Congress in Mexico. It was during that period that he met his wife, Margarita Zavala, who also served in Congress. President Calderón became the party's Secretary General in 1993 and its president in 1996. After Vicente Fox's election as Mexico's president in 2000, he was appointed Director of the National Bank of Public Works and Services and then Energy Secretary. In July 2006, he was elected President of Mexico and has proved an adept at reading the political landscape. He quickly reached out to the opposition, noting, and I quote, "If you don't have a majority, you have to construct it." On his first day as president, he cut his own salary and that of his cabinet. He has also worked to reform the judicial system, the tax system, and the public pension system. Worldwide, President Calderón is recognized for his fight against the drug cartels. It is an enormous challenge, and as he noted when it took office, it cannot be resolved quickly. It takes time, significant financial resources, and unfortunately has resulted in the loss of many lives. He has expressed readiness to partner with the United States on this effort, and over the course of his presidency, the relationship between our two countries has strengthened. He was the first head of state invited to the White House after President Obama's election. Over the past 2 years, the two leaders have met a number of times, and President Obama has acknowledged the great difficulties of combating drug-related violence and pledged U.S. support. Earlier this spring, President Calderón signals his determination to pursue the fight when he nominated Ms. Morales as Mexico's 42nd Attorney General, the first woman to hold this position. From his childhood, when he began his journey to become president, to pursuing studies that would allow him to do that, to a lifetime of serving his country, Felipe Calderón has demonstrated a willingness to take on difficult tasks. He assumed office at one of the most challenging times in the history of his country, and his views on public service and experience leading a nation so vitally intertwined with California and the United States are of great interest to our graduates. Please join me in welcoming the President of Mexico, Felipe Calderón.
Thank you. Dear graduates of Stanford, it's a great honor to address you today. I thank President Hennessy, the faculty, and all of you for this invitation. Mr. President, next time I will enroll at Stanford. First of all, many congratulations to all of you. I know you feel excited and proud of your accomplishment. Your parents should also be applauded because you are here in a large part thanks to them. I know there are many Mexican and Mexican-American students graduating today. So let me say to them and to all Latinos, felicidades, estamos muy orgullosos de ustedes. For all of you here today, your classes are over. However, the meaning of this ceremony, as the name suggests, is one of beginning, not end. This is a commencement. Today is the beginning of a new stage in your lives. Many among you will be successful businessmen and women, lawyers or writers. But beyond graduating in science or the arts, beyond becoming a great doctor or engineer, the key to life is to graduate as a human being, a good citizen of your country and a good citizen of the world. Today, you leave Stanford with the best tools and the most advanced knowledge. To graduate from this university, it's a great honor and a huge responsibility. What does it mean to have such a distinguished privilege? It means that you have the opportunity to serve others and to become an agent for the kind of positive change this world needs, with the talent and courage to act and to do what so many had said was impossible. This is the question you must ask yourself right now. Do you want to be just another person who goes through life without making your mark? Or, as Gandhi said, do you want to be the change you want to see? And now that a new stage of your life is about to begin, give true meaning to your existence. Find the reason why you are here now, in 2011, on this beautiful planet. Embrace your ideals and fight for them with all your heart. It doesn't matter how hard it seems. Fight the good fight and defend your principles in the face of adversity. Let me share with you a personal experience. When I was your age, Mexico still had an autocratic regime. All the state governors and all the senators came from the same party. For many decades, that one party controlled everything. What the media was allowed to say, what the schools should teach, which rock concerts were permitted, everything. When students, just like you, protested, they were massacred. Many opponents of the regime were simply disappeared. However, around the country, hope stayed alive, and there was a determined and peaceful struggle for democracy. In Morelia, my hometown, it was precisely my father who organized the struggling opposition. Those were very difficult times. My brothers, my sister, and I used to go with him on this heroic and utopian crusade. As a boy, I enjoyed handing out flyers, knocking on doors, and shouting slogans through an old sound system on the roof of an old van. Step by step, the force of democracy started to grow. But sadly, electoral fraud grew as well. And one day, I said, enough. And filled with rage at the frustrating abuse of power, I went to my father and complained that our efforts were useless. Why all this effort if the people don't care? And when they do, the government steals votes and victories from us. So what is the point of that? And he told me, I understand your anger, but we are doing this because it is the right thing to do, because it's our moral duty to the country. And also told me this, we may never see someone from our party become president, not even governor. But the only way to change Mexico peacefully is to appeal to people's conscience. And if we don't do that, nobody will. He died before Mexico's deep transformation to democracy. And some years afterwards, against all odds, I was elected President of Mexico. I think I never thanked him enough for his advice. And because I cannot tell him personally, I'm telling you instead. You must never, ever stop defending your ideas and dreams. Believe and fight for something you can bequeath to those who come behind you. And do not hesitate in your efforts, because in the end, man's power to create is bigger than his power to destroy. You have to give meaning to your life. And to do so, you have to embrace with passion the things that you believe in and that you are fighting for. Be sure of your principles and never, never give up on them. The world is waiting for you. That world, the one you will be responsible for, faces many different challenges. The list is really long. Climate change, human rights protection, migration of people looking for opportunities and contributing to the prosperity of other societies, poverty, terrorism, pandemics, economic crisis and unemployment, organized crime, and illegal drugs market, combined with the insatiable greed behind the business of guns and weapons that cost too many young lives in man's country and around the world. Out of this, allow me to talk about just two of them. Some 40 years ago, the Club of Rome, the famous think tank, decided to analyze the major trends of humanity. They gathered all possible information and published a report called Mankind at the Turning Point. And I quote, "Two gaps, steadily widening, appear to be at the heart of mankind's present crisis. The gap between man and nature, and the gap between North and South, rich and poor. Both gaps must be narrow if world-shattering catastrophes are to be avoided." Today, those two challenges are still there, and they constitute a serious threat. Poverty has risen. More than 1 billion people live on less than $1 a day. Similarly, the Earth's average temperature rose 1 degree Celsius last century due to rising carbon emissions. And if we fail to act, our planet's average temperature could rise as much as 5 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. Global warming has caused a dramatic change to the world's weather. We don't have to go far to find those catastrophes. Here in the United States today, we can see the devastating impacts of climate change. Unprecedented flooding of the Mississippi, more frequent and violent tornadoes that have killed hundreds of people and that have appeared even in Massachusetts, and destructive hurricanes like Katrina, not to mention the floods in Pakistan or droughts in Africa or Russia. We knew about this 40 years ago, and it was only grown worse ever since. What has prevented us from closing these gaps? Perhaps one big mistake was to assume that we need to choose between fostering economic growth and preserving nature. And that is a false dilemma. It is possible to promote economic growth and at the same time preserve nature. It is possible to fight poverty and fight climate change simultaneously. And this false dilemma must be debunked with the tools of science and with all the knowledge and wisdom we have at our disposal. These are the things we must do. Design and build pragmatic solutions which demonstrate that there is a path for low-carbon economic growth. I am positive that both gaps must and can be closed at the same time. Find practical solutions here in Stanford to reduce poverty and mitigate climate change at the same time. And to achieve this, the world needs the best of the best. The best students, the best scientists, the best minds and souls. Stanford, with its enormous talent, might focus on the need to pursue a path of sustainable development and solving today's problem with modern technologies. For instance, Stanford researchers have found a new way to purify water with nanotechnology. Today, we are using more energy than ever before, but there are still millions and millions of people with no access to electricity. We must find a way to produce cheap renewable energy and make it available to those that need it. Other case, we are losing woodlands and rainforests at a frightening pace, increasing carbon emission because the poor communities living there practically eat the forest. But there are ways to stop this. For instance, in Mexico, for centuries, indigenous communities that own the forests had no choice but to chop down the trees and plant grains, and still they could not feed their families. The end result was more and more forestry destroyed and more hungry people. Now, we have learned that the water, the oxygen, and the carbon sequestration from those forests are public goods, and we all have to pay for them. And today, in Mexico, we have a program called ProArbol, which pays with taxpayers' money for the environmental services that those communities provide. So they are able to preserve or reforest the woodlands and at the same time to receive a real income for their families. And we are proving that it is possible to stop deforestation and at the same time alleviate poverty. With all your learning, I'm sure that, for instance, you can design solutions and public policies to prevent deforestation and soil degradations, and by doing so, you will be solving more than 20% of global carbon emissions. And there are many others enormous opportunities to solve large problems like this one. Dear students, you have come a long way, but there are new and more relevant horizons ahead. One last piece of advice. Enjoy life. Seek happiness actively. That is the essence of being alive. Find the meaning of your existence. Fill your life with that meaning and enjoy every moment. Think of the goals you want to reach, but above all, enjoy and live the beautiful journey, as the poem Ithaca by the Greek Cavafis says. As you set out for Ithaca, hope your road is a long one, full of adventure, full of discovery. You will enter Port Sim for the first time, shop at Phoenician markets, and purchase fine merchandise. Always keep Ithaca in your mind, but do not hurry the voyage at all. It is better to let it last for many years and to anchor at the island when you are old, Ithaca has given you the beautiful voyage. And if you find her poor, Ithaca has not deceived you. Wise as you have become, with so much experience, you must already have understood what Ithacas mean. Dear graduates, don't be afraid of sailing against the wind and avoiding the wave of mediocrity that paralyzes the best causes. Today, your beautiful journey has started. Enjoy it. And many years from now, when you remember this beautiful moment, wise and full of experience, I hope you find the happiness that comes from being congruent with the values you believe in and to live according to your ideals, like today, when college ends and a new life begins. Thank you very much, and congratulations, class of 2011.
Thank you, President Calderón, for that inspiring and thoughtful message for our graduates. Would the provost please come forward to present the candidates for their degrees?
Mr. President, first I have the honor to recognize those who have completed the requirements for master's and doctoral degrees. They will be presented to you by the deans of their schools.
Will the candidates from the School of Engineering please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Science, Engineer, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Will the graduates from the School of Engineering please be seated?
Will the candidates from the School of Law please rise? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Jurisprudence, Master of the Science of Law, Doctor of the Science of Law, and Master of Laws.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
From the School of Law, please be seated, and congratulations.
Will the candidates from the School of Education please stand?
Thank you, Dean Stipek. And thank you for your 10 years of incredible service in leading our terrific School of Education. By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations, graduates.
Will the graduates from the School of Education please be seated?
Will the candidates from the School of Humanities and Sciences please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts, Master of Liberal Arts, Master of Science, Master of Fine Arts, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Will the graduates from the School of Humanities and Sciences please be seated?
Will the candidates from the School of Earth Sciences please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Science, Engineering, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Will the graduates from the School of Earth Sciences please be seated?
Will the candidates from the Graduate School of Business please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts in Business Research, Master of Science in Management, Master of Business Administration, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Will the graduates from the School of Business please be seated?
Will the candidates from the School of Medicine please rise? Mr. President, I present those who have completed the requirements for the Master of Science, Doctor of Medicine, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. President, one of the candidates for whom you've just bestowed the degree of Doctor of Medicine is not with us. Emma Bakes came to Stanford in 2006 to pursue her dream of becoming a Doctor of Medicine following a very distinguished career as an astrophysicist with appointments at Princeton and Vassar, NASA, and SETI. Unfortunately, during her medical school course, she developed cancer, and she died on February 28th of this year. Her greatest hope was to receive this degree which you've now bestowed. Her spirit rests high with this honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
School of Medicine, please be seated.
Well, Provost Etchemendy, have we forgotten anyone?
I think we're done. Oh, wait a minute. Now, Mr. President, I have the honor to recognize all those who have completed the requirements for undergraduate degrees. Will the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Arts and Sciences please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science degrees and the Bachelor of Arts and Science degree.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am happy to confer publicly upon each of you the bachelor degree and to admit you to its rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Will the graduates of this fine university please be seated?
Graduates of Stanford University, on behalf of all the members of the Stanford family and more than 200,000 alumni, I congratulate you and commend you. You have made many contributions during your time here on the farm, and you have earned this day of celebration. But before we close, I would like to reflect for a few minutes on what it means to be admitted to the rights, responsibilities, and privileges associated with a degree from Stanford University. We believe that a Stanford education brings with it the responsibility to use your knowledge to benefit others and to help ensure that succeeding generations have the same opportunities that you have had here. I have made it a commencement tradition to talk about a member of the Stanford family who has put her education to good use. This year, that distinguished alumna is the late Ruth Halpern. There is a deep volunteer tradition among our alumni, as well as a history of one generation reaching out to help the next. Ruth Levison Halpern exemplified both. She grew up on this campus. Her father, Robert Levison, was among the founding members of the Stanford Associates and a former chair of the Stanford Alumni Association's Board of Directors. Ruth often noted that she learned firsthand about giving back to Stanford from one of the best volunteers the university ever had, her father. Generosity and dedicated service to Stanford was and continues to be a family tradition. 4 generations of Ruth's family have attended Stanford. Many of them are with us today, including one graduate of the class of 2011. Ruth earned her undergraduate degree in political science from Stanford in 1947, and more than half a century later, she recalled her very first days at Stanford with these words: "I felt a freedom and contentment. I just knew that I was in the right place for me, and I was probably as happy as I've ever been. I reveled in it. I was so lucky to be here." And certainly, we were lucky to have her. She was one of the university's most energetic champions, serving her alma mater in a variety of ways. I had the honor of awarding our highest award for volunteer service, the Gold Spike, to Ruth Halpern. From 1986 to 1996, a decade marked by the devastating Loma Prieta earthquake, Ruth served 2 terms on the Stanford Board of Trustees. During that time, she served on numerous committees, from land and buildings to academic affairs to development. She developed a great friendship with Stanford's then president, Gerhard Casper. She had a powerful intellect and an ability to cut to the heart of any matter. Gerhard told me that she had a habit of knitting during board meetings, providing a calming presence along with her many incisive observations. When President Casper decided to try to resurrect the tradition of great architecture and a return to the brilliant campus plan devised by Frederick Law Olmsted, Ruth was the chief cheerleader and proselytizer. Now, nearly 20 years later, we have a campus whose plan and architecture rival the best in the world. But Ruth was there at the very start. Ruth had a special devotion at Stanford to the importance of arts in our academic mission. A generous and welcoming spirit, she was one of the earliest supporters of the Arts Initiative. She mentored hundreds of volunteers and was quick to share her art with the Stanford family. Some of you have seen that marvelous sculpture, Stone River, by Andrew Goldsworthy, just off Palm Drive. Ruth and Bob Halpern commissioned that work in honor of Gerhard Casper's presidency. It is made from more than 6,000 pieces of sandstone from buildings damaged in the 1906 and 1989 earthquakes. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, go this afternoon. It is truly one of the jewels of our outdoor art collection. In working with Ruth, I came to admire her insights, her aesthetic sense, and her characteristic straight talking. I also quickly realized that when she believed something needed to be done, she was a force to be reckoned with. After the Loma Prieta earthquake ravaged the museum, Ruth headed up the fundraising effort to rebuild and expand it. Today, the Cantor Arts Center at Stanford is one of the university's greatest assets. Thousands of people visit each year to experience our collections and exhibitions, and we owe much of that effort and dedication to Ruth Halpern. Over the years, their philanthropy-endowed faculty positions made it possible for the museum to expand its collection and enabled us to present exhibitions of great variety and depth, including the current exhibition in the Halpern Gallery, featuring more than 60 illustrated title pages from editions of the Bible, as well as works by Aristotle, Chaucer, and Dante. Ruth Levison Halpern loved every aspect of this university, from football games to the latest art exhibition to meeting current students. And she worked to ensure that Stanford would be as welcoming and wonderful to future generations. That is the legacy you inherit as you prepare to leave here, a legacy shaped by people like Ruth Halpern, who exemplified the Stanford spirit. I hope your time here has provided you with a deep reservoir of the Stanford spirit, and that you leave inspired to make your own contributions to the world, and that that spirit brings you back often to this very special place. Congratulations and best wishes on your journey.
I invite you to rise for the benediction. Source of all creation, 119 times before has the Stanford community gathered to celebrate its graduates. On this glorious morning, the 120th, the Hebrew expression for a rich and full life is ad 120, until 120. The richness and fullness of a Stanford life now dwells within you, filled with questions, curiosity, and promise, rich in friends, mentors, and community. Graduates and we who love and support you, as you go forth to water-parched deserts, to teach and create possibilities for those who have lost vision, to sustain a world deeply in need of repair. May you be refreshed by the well springs of learning and loving nourished here. Class of 011, may your lives be always leavened with laughter. And your passion for justice be enlivened with hope. May your labors be leavened by wisdom, and your friendships ever lift you with love. Adonai yishmor tzetecha uvoecha me'ata v'ad olam. May the fount of life, wellspring of wisdom, guard you as you go forth and as you return, now and forevermore. Amen.
tell which.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.